Hi, my name is Donna Griggs, and I want to welcome you to the 3-ish minute moment. The purpose of our 3-ish minute moments is to give you some tips and tricks that you can use immediately so that it can help you propel change in your own organization. Today, what we want to talk about is how do we help organizations actually become change ready? You might not be ready to go through a change, but how do you get your people so that they're at least thinking about change and it's not such a negative experience? So over 30 years, we've identified 5 different reasons that prevent organizations from being change ready, and I want to talk to you about one of those. And this is called the SUSIE syndrome, which is one of my favorites. Now I want you to think for just a minute when I describe Susie, because I think most of you know her. If you go to your team and you say, hey, I need some help on a project, we have some deadlines that we're going to meet, who can help me out? The first person that raises their hand, that'd be Susie. Now, Susie really is interested in raising her hand because she wants a promotion. Not only does she want a promotion, she needs to learn everything as quickly as possible. So God love her, she's going to volunteer for everything. But let me tell you what happens. So we see 3 different perspectives when we look at that Susie syndrome. And the first one is you, the manager. You as a manager, you are so happy you have Susie because you don't have to think about who's going to volunteer for this. It lets you off the hook. But the problem is it lets you off the hook. Second is peers. So Susie's peers sit around and go, let her do it. We don't need to be promoted. We don't care about those projects. We have our job. We want to go home every day at 4:30. And so they don't really volunteer either. And instead, they're kind of making fun of Susie behind her back. And they're not stretching themselves at all. Again, I don't want a promotion. So from the peer perspective, they're just kind of hanging back and being mute. Now the third perspective is Susie. So from Susie's thought process, she thinks that by taking more projects on, her chances of promotion are going to get even better, even faster, because she's going to learn everything and who knows, maybe even get your job. And so she continues to accept more and more responsibility. But here's what happens. Susie, the more projects she gets, her productivity actually decreases because she has so many things going on that she cannot manage everything. And so unfortunately, she becomes a lot less effective. Now, Susie goes through a syndrome typically of what we call rust out. And what rust out is they have all this great stamina. They're still really like the Energizer Bunny, except they keep changing directions and they never get anything done. So when that happens, their productivity and effectiveness have both decreased and they are not meeting their goals. When they're not meeting their goals, and even though they're try, unfortunately, frustration sets in. And frustration sets in for Susie. Frustration sets in for her peers because they're saying, Susie's not doing her job anymore. We're having to pick up everything. And frustration definitely sets in for you. Now, unfortunately, Susie could potentially be looking for that new job on your time where she's going to be more effective and more productive and hopefully get that promotion quicker. All right, so what do you do to prevent this? This is the really big question that people usually ask us. And I'm going to give you some tips around that. First of all, you've got to look at what the skills of your team are. And what you need to think about with the skills of your team are what are their natural skills? What are their natural gifts? And how can I make that even better? How can I help them grow even more? The other thing is look at projects that can match those natural gifts and skills with what are the things that need to happen in your organization. At the same time, thinking about their growth needs. Because when you can do that, you're hitting a whole bunch of marks. And in fact, we've seen people actually have teams that make 13 months of productivity in 12. It's amazing. Third, I want you to ask everyone individually to take on projects. So don't ask a team of people where 5 people are allowed to be mute except for Susie. Go ahead and talk to people individually and say, hey, look, I really need you in this project and here's why and here's how you're going to help me. Magic words that we use with clients are, I need your help. Most people are geared to, how can I do that? All right, so let me switch back to Susie for just a second, because what you may have is Susie's going to have all these hurt feelings because now all of a sudden her peers are doing some of the projects that she used to do. You need to sit her down and say, hey, look, I am trying to grow this whole team, including you. You are still incredibly valuable to me, but I don't want to burn you out. So I have to spread the wealth and have everybody pulling in the same direction. And while you're at it, why don't you just do that with everybody else too? So let me give you some next steps to get this done. Number one, I want you to say, do I have a Susie in my organization? And am I absolutely burning her out, or is she just at rust out right now? Or is she not there yet, but it's possible that she's going to get there? Go and look at your team and evaluate their skills. Decide what kind of growth areas that you have for them and what kind of growth areas they would like to get. And then also match your projects in your organization, in your department, with those team members. And it'll help increase their skills, it'll help hit those growth areas, and your goals will be met over and over. Now, if you need advice or you want guidance on how to get this done, we love Pick My Brain sessions. So you can see on the screen what our phone number is. Give us a call and let's schedule some time to do that. I hope this is going to help you propel change in your team. This is Donna Griggs, and I'm happy to have given you a 3-ish minute moment. Thank you.